so what do I have? I have 7 o'clock. Well, okay. Well, I have it on my computer and my phone.
Oh, okay.
So.
7, which Marathon or 7? Yeah, mine does too.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. Yeah. You have staff recognition?
No.
Okay. So we're on old business. We have July's action items. And for July's action items, I have set a date for Ann Warner, which has been done. It's August 24th at 7 o'clock in the Clump Room. And the agenda was attached, so that's to everybody. There's nothing going on with SMP. Oh, wait, that's not a strategic plan. The second July's action item was prioritize the 22-23 CIP. I thought we did that.
We did.
Okay.
There's nothing else. I haven't heard it.
Okay. This was prioritize the fiscal year 22-23 CIP, the capital improvement projects.
Yeah.
We did that last meeting.
Yeah.
So, and then the print report was the second or the
Yeah.
third.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about
Do
in
you
the,
have it?
in the,
You got some before?
we did.
Yeah.
I sent it, and we can talk about that in the treasurer's section.
Mhm.
And then the last one is the retreat date.
And we have that now.
And so Deb sent an email that she's available the 10th or the 17th of September.
Mhm.
I am not available on the 17th. Is the 10th okay?
Till now it is okay for me.
It is.
Okay.
What time?
It said 8:30.
So the last time we did
8:30.
it was 8:30. So
And we really, it took about 15 minutes. There was a lag time. We were chatting, people came in. So about
So-
8:45, 10 to 9. So if we say 8:30.
so 8:30.
Yeah.
8:30.
So 8:30 on the 10th in the
September.
clump room. Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
In the clump.
Oh, that's kind of funny. My calendar already suggested 8:30.
There you go.
Is it a voice activated?
And that
Calendar?
Ann Warner's meeting is going to be in the club room too?
Correct. 7 o'clock on the 24th.
Yep.
Right.
Now, is that 8:30 in the morning or afternoon?
I will be there in the morning. I will not be there.
At 8:30.
That would be rough.
That would be rough. Lots of caffeine. Okay, so like I said, there was nothing for SMP under old business. The strategic plan was the meeting that we established with Ann Warner. The building maintenance project list, Granite Steps funding, is that something that's just a hangover?
That's just, oh, yeah, Granite State's fund. The STEPS funding is different. I have more information on that.
Okay.
So, okay. So this is in my director's report on the second page. We had the structural engineer come in to examine it, and then they came back on the 11th to do a ground penetrating radar scan of the steps and kind of underneath the concrete. What they were looking for, and this is the exterior steps on the DW, okay? What they were looking for was there any kind of rebar reinforcing in the concrete under the building, and there is. And that was what we were hoping for. So it probably won't require as much support that we first thought it might. So this GPR scan that they did is going to be sent to Paul Spacci, who's the engineer. Mike Danis of Danis Construction did the scan, and then Paul Spacci will make the recommendations about what needs to happen. So it's an update on it and a cost of that scan and written report. So the estimation for the work, it's already been done because it had to be done, is between $1,400 and $1,500. I don't have an invoice yet, and I don't have a report yet. So that just happened, so that's where we are. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to suggest, when we get the invoice,
Yes.
how to pay for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is rather imminent, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's been done. We're just waiting on the next piece of, here's the report.
Got
So
it.
everyone, you guys have the detail of what they found. I assume we'll get a picture of the scan, you know, and then the invoice.
Okay.
Just as a side note, and I was not there when they were doing the scan, but when Joanne has talked to these engineers, they're both asking, was a concrete pad poured before they placed the granite steps? And the granite steps aren't straight. And it's like, we know the granite steps aren't finished, so I know that, but I don't know if they poured a granite pad or a concrete pad. It's I mean, we want it done right.
Right.
But that's like, I don't know who's pouring a concrete pad, and, is that something Public Works can do? And we have to get the other company to come in to take all of the granite steps off if they do that, or just get back with him and say, hey, someone else, a different engineer from a different project said, you didn't do this right. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable because now we have two vendors talking about someone else's project.
Right.
What do you want to do? What do y'all want to do?
It's just for under the steps.
Is it under the steps or just the top step?
It would be under the steps
Under all
near
of
the
steps on
sidewalk,
Right. Okay, just
at
making
the
sure.
actual entrance, and
Should be cheap.
Cheap to put the pad on relatively, but you have to have somebody remove all of the steps
Mm.
again, have it done, wait the 24 hours, whatever, to have it set,
Right.
and then come back and put them all back.
so when they remove and replace the actual steps, we block off the corner, we have police detail, there's a big
Right.
truck that comes in with a crane, and, it's, 'cause that's a right turn corner, and it's, what we've done in the past when the project started, you get a permit from Public Works, you need certain kind of signage, you call in for a police detail, and it's all additional costs. It's all additional costs, and then they, suggest to us, well, let's have this, like Public Works, who gives a certain permit, says, wait till the school buses have gone through,
Right.
morning commute has gone through, and then start the project, so.
Can you contact the company that did do the steps to see
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
did it? I mean, if they did it, then all the better.
Yep.
So the steps were fixed, right?
They were replaced.
So the.
And while they were being replaced, and they were putting the top step on, up by the door, the engineers stopped everything, called me out of my office, and said, we think there's a problem under here, because it looks like these beams, these wooden beams right at the edge, are rotting. And so there was this whole pause, because they didn't know how far back the rot went and what else was under the concrete, at the entrance, how far it went. Did it go into the Lowell room? Did it go into my office? And so that's why this scan was like, what's under there?
Yeah.
So now they know there's some kind of reinforcement under there, but there's still some additional reinforcement that has to be made, which we don't know what that is, but that's what this other engineer is gonna
Yeah, so
recommend.
the steps that they just fixed are crooked.
Yeah, because they paused the project. So at least the top 2 steps are crooked.
So shouldn't they fix it?
Yeah, should.
So it has to be fixed by the people who are doing the first job, or these
It would have to be fixed by the granite vendors,
vendors?
which is Northern Lights. But we don't know if they installed a concrete pad when they put the first step down on the sidewalk.
So you're gonna get in touch with Northern Lights and
Yeah.
ask them if they did.
Yes.
And
Got it.
are they the company that would still be coming back to fix the top 2 steps?
They would have to be, yeah, because it's their
Right.
project.
But I thought the top 2 steps were kind of just placed there
Just to close,
temporarily.
yes,
Right,
Yes.
to close the hole
right,
so people don't crawl into
Right.
it.
Hmm.
And there's tape.
Right.
It's been like that for
yeah.
a couple of
while.
years. It's been like that for like 2 parades. So,
Okay, so then the discussion is, did they do a pad? If they didn't do a pad, why didn't they do a pad?
right.
Because they could shift. Which would then bring us back to where we were in the first place.
Mhm.
Mm.
Right. Right, and Joanne didn't write this down for me, but one of the other engineers was like, oh, these iron railings, you shouldn't put them back. And I honestly, I think it's part of the shifting, but I'd have to go back and find out what he told her. Because the iron railings, we were gonna have them refurbished
Right.
and then reinstalled.
Right,
Right.
And it's like, is that the right thing to do?
right,
Or is it better with a different option? And that's, a whole- let's get the steps put in first, because they have to be put in before we can put a railing back,
right.
So-
whatever the railing is.
Right.
So with the scan report, are they going to give these recommendations also? Like, okay, like you cannot put railings or you.
Yeah,
need
I hope so,
reinforcement.
because that was, I mean, it's a different company doing that fix than the people who did the granite steps.
Okay,
So, which is this company? This is not the Northern Lights. It's the
This is Danis.
Danis.
so let's pay them. Let's get that out of the way before we start thinking about
Mm.
Northern Lights and crooked steps and concrete pad. I would just pay for it out of special,
Okay.
yeah. Just take I mean, it's up to $1,500, between $1,400 and $1,500. Just
Yeah.
take it out of special,
Okay. Well, you'll see that invoice when we get it.
yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion to pay Danis for the work they've done on the granite step, ground penetrating radar scan, taken out of special for whatever the amount is, I mean.
Second.
Should I put the amount in? Up to $1,500?
Up to $1,500. Do you think?
That's what they said?
Okay,
Yeah.
then we'll do that.
Okay.
All those in favor? All right, so now. I think you just need to get more information at the moment,
Yep. Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Retreat
So
we did.
should we put like waiting next?
Yes.
thing?
Especially for the clarification of why
Yeah.
the railings won't be serviceable. Or
According
or
to,
why they would be damaging, or why
right, according to a different vendor who's
Right.
not the railing vendor or the,
Right.
or the step vendor,
Right.
so,
I just don't know why that would be.
I don't know.
So should the
I mean,
action
the railings don't hold anything. I mean, if they can just be installed and they're refurbished, since they're off anyway, they've been refurbished. I don't understand what kind of damage they.
I don't know. It's not in the stuff that Joanne sent, because we're focusing on finishing this piece, and that's like,
Yes. Okay.
we'll get to that.
Okay.
Gotta get the steps right first.
Okay.
So the action item should be put it like, just to see if
The board voted to, I have an action item to follow up with the original granite steps vendor, Northern Lights. And obviously I'll send you the report whenever I get it, the scan and this written detailed report.
Okay. So, new business. We have a couple policies.
We've got one policy.
One policy.
Yes, so Kathy worked on an update for the social media policy. The main change is on page 2 in red. Users who, over the course of a single virtual program, make repeated inappropriate comments or comments that are not topically related to the particular subject of that program will be barred from making further comments for the duration of that program. So basically what's happening is when the children's staff have been doing Instagram story time, Facebook story time, or any other kind of virtual, they have a couple of different kinds of story times they do. Some people, I don't even know if they're patrons, I don't think they're in state, but we have a screenshot of one comment that the staff said was irrelevant and possibly inappropriate, that we'd be able to block them. You know, with Facebook, if you block someone while they're doing a live program, then they're going to be unable to comment for, I believe, 15 minutes, which is basically the duration of the program. So, but it's basically they're being spammed, and this person will comment, the repeat comment 20, 30 times. So we don't want that. It's
No.
distracting and
So
not
can
quite
we
sure.
see this?
I don't know, because I watched one of the programs. This is Facebook, it's like a Facebook Storytime Live on Monday mornings. And the one I watched, there was no one was commenting, and I couldn't see any comments. So I asked the staff to get a screenshot the next time it happens, and they were able to do that. So.
And
I didn't watch that day, so I don't know if I could have seen the comment or not. So
can you repeat the policy change?
yeah, you should have it in your packet.
I do.
Okay. Users who, over the course of a single virtual program, make repeated inappropriate comments.
All
or
right. Can we drop the repeated?
Why?
So just because inappropriate can mean different levels of inappropriate. So if someone says something really inappropriate, they should be blocked right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Doesn't have
first
to be
time.
repeated.
You mean first time?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. I mean, I think she said repeated because it was being repeated, and we weren't blocking anything because it wasn't in the policy that we could do that.
You could maybe even just say, instead of repeated, say intentional.
I think
Oh.
first time.
Intentional, then
Yeah.
who's gonna prove it?
yeah, intent, you have to, okay,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You can have
First
to-
time.
Yeah,
Mm.
first
Alright.
time.
Okay.
I move that we accept the social media policy with the added paragraph as read and agreed on.
Without repeated.
with the edit.
And agreed on, yeah, with the
Okay.
edit.
With the edits as agreed on.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay. Yeah, there are no other changes to that.
Did you want to do the disc?
Did you guys actually vote?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
We accepted.
Okay, so the disc,
And we are just removing that word repeated.
yeah, because we'll block them on the first
Yeah.
time. I mean, so this is something that's in your packets for your consideration. We recently added an item to the Library of Things so patrons can convert VHS tapes to DVD discs.
Yeah.
I hope you know, Michael, what a VHS tape is.
People still use DVDs?
My wedding video is on VHS.
So is mine.
Yeah,
That was mine.
I know.
Before my time.
I know.
I have a traumatic experience with a VHS tape. I put my Mickey Mouse in the thing, and then it just started spitting out the tape. It was terrible.
Now the discs just kind of,
Yes, but I
Spin.
put it on in my
Can't
desk
read.
already, like 10 years ago, just in case.
yeah. Okay, so, but we have a device that you can check out of the library, convert your VHS tapes to DVD discs. And the staff, in discussing this, agreed it would be a better service if we also sold blank DVDs to library patrons interested in using the equipment. So what we've purchased is 50 blank archival quality DVD discs that cost $23.29, and 50 disc sleeves, which cost $15.95 to a total cost of $39.34. So the average cost to this averages out to a cost of 79 cents for a disc in a protective sleeve. We suggest charging $1 for the disc and sleeve. And if you agree to that, what account should it go into? The income we collect.
Is it used a lot?
It's new. I think it will be for a certain age group, like me. I mean, not
I'll
mine.
use it.
You would
I
use
mean,
it?
I can think of it
to
right
convert?
away. I have VHS tapes that I would really like to get
Oh, nice.
on a hard copy where, so the tape isn't spitting out.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, you think $1?
I think $1's
I
fine.
think $1 fine.
It's easy. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Okay. And then where do you want the money to go?
It goes to fines.
Okay.
It's income
Goes to
generating.
fines.
All right.
So, I make a motion to make the selling of discs $1.
Second.
All those in favor? What's next? Moving right along. We have the general ledger, invoice manifest, and open POs.
Yeah, we still have 2 fiscal years open because we're still getting invoices from last fiscal year and they're still being paid. It should be winding down.
Yeah. And I sent an email to Yvette that got passed to Joanne with a couple questions about the purchase orders, just because I wanted to know how they decided which one went on which year. Which essentially, if the item was purchased before June 30th, it went on the previous fiscal year. So, if it was July 1 to now, it went on July's. I also asked about the red word, the red font, that talks about the encumbered money went into materials, and it from last year, and we voted last month to move it to the building.
Right.
Karen had finished the minutes, Yvette had the minutes and sent to the finance department, and we're still waiting to see that changeover.
Yep.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just, It's just that they haven't had it long enough to be able to do it,
I don't know.
okay?
I'm just giving you a highlight because the red was still there, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, we took care of this, and we're waiting.
Well,
Yep.
it's there.
Right, exactly. So. So other than that, that was,
So those scheduled to be paid, are those waiting, or those are new POs?
Well,
List
we'll-
of open POs?
Open POs, because there are some from last year that are still in the last fiscal year.
Oh, yeah. Okay, those which is written like our actual intention was to have finance only at the balance? Is that the page? 21, 22?
21, 22, yeah, the highlight, sorry, the highlighted in red, the big box.
Yes.
Yes, our intention, and we voted on it in May,
Yes.
was to have the surplus of funds go into the building. That's all. Okay. I didn't have any issues with anything else. What are we, so we're at the director's report.
Okay. We have some donations. We have a donation of a box of 5 Matchbox cars
Mhm.
from Katie Boland to replace broken cars for the Youth Services Road Rug. I don't think anyone broke the car, you know, it's not like they broke the cars, it was just, noticing that there was a problem and getting here some cars. So, would you like to vote to accept these cars so we can use them?
I make a motion to accept the box of 5 Matchbox cars from Katie Boland.
Second.
Boland. All those in favor?
Okay, thank you, Katie Boland. And we received a donation of a book, a copy of No Parm, No Foul, A Grilled Cheese Mystery by Linda Riley. We'd like to add this to our collection. Linda Riley's a resident, and I think we have book 1 she donated, so now it's book 2.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
I took it out.
Yeah.
And I still have it out. I finished it, and I read the first one too, so.
Did you want to eat grilled cheese while you were reading it?
It really sounded good. It was just so hot.
Yeah.
If I read it in the fall when it was cooler, then I wouldn't have been able to restrain myself. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the copy of No Parm, No Foul, A Grilled Cheese Mystery by Linda Riley.
Yep. I second.
All those in favor? 400.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you, Linda.
Yes,
She's
thank
awesome.
you.
We also received a donation of many, many houseplants, which I can
Hmm.
tell you exactly how many houseplants from the Merrimack Garden Club following their plant sale for distribution to participants in the Summer Reading Challenge. Youth Services also has an idea for a teen program to make planters and have the plant be the hair. So we're gonna get them out to the kids. But it is exactly 12 kalanchoe plants, 3 wandering dudes, and like 59 spider plants.
Oh, wow.
So they're all in my office.
You've only got one little tiny window for all this.
They're not at the window. They're just on the floor, and I water them. So,
I'll make a motion to accept the house plants from the Merrimack Garden Club.
Second.
All those in favor? 400. Thank you, Garden Club.
okay, and then I also have after this was written and sent, a book donated by anonymous, but it's really Michael Bibby. A book called Gurzel. It's fantasy. Michael Bibby is a resident of Merrimack, and also he's a member of my writing group. And so he donated a book to
What's
us.
his name again?
What's his name?
Michael
Michael.
Bibby, Bibby. But he's writing under I Anonymous.
What was the title?
What's the title?
Gave it away.
I know.
G-R-Z-I.
Gerzel. I know, yeah, I was kind of wondering, should I tell you who it's donated by? But
So do we put it as anonymous
So I'll make a motion to accept the book
No.
by I Anonymous,
Hmm.
Gerzel.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay, great, thank you. For personnel, we've hired Reggie Bourne for the circulation assistant part-time position, which I know Deb came in and signed the PR, but I didn't know where the vote was. If you guys voted online.
I think we did it last.
Email?
I think
I think we
she
did it
did
last.
send an email that she had some applicants. Was it in the
I
last
thought it was last.
thing? We put it in the,
No, that's. Oh, no. That would be non-public, right? Or is it?
Not to
Yeah.
accept the hire, no.
No, yeah.
I mean, to accept it.
No, that's always public.
Okay, we'll just do that.
Okay.
I
It's
do
not,
not
yeah,
recall.
it's not in the
Mm.
minutes.
it's not in the minutes.
No,
I don't remember.
I don't recall that at all. This month's minutes was the first month that I actually typed the name, and I would remember typing the name.
We hadn't hired him yet, because that was after the meeting. And, Deb and I, and I'm assuming she had communicated to the board that she can come in and sign the PAR so that we can keep the process moving on our end. And then she would either email you and say, I've signed this thing, or we wait till the meeting,
should
or.
vote for it. We should do it now?
We'll do it
Sure,
now.
yeah.
So it's Reginald Bourne
Yes,
for the circ assistant position.
yes.
For the what?
Circulation
Okay.
assistant. So I make a motion to accept Reginald Bourne for the circulation assistant position.
I second.
Okay.
All those in favor? 400.
Okay, we've got 2 part-time positions posted right now, starting to get some applicants. And I also received a, letter of resignation from Angela. I know. I got this yesterday. So Angela Putnam is leaving to take a full-time position, as a academy secretary at her local high school. It's full-time with benefits. So I have her PAR, for you to sign, so that we can give that to finance and move her through. So, but you do need to vote to accept that. And I could pass her letter if you want to see it.
So I make a motion to accept Angela Putnam's resignation. Effective date is 8/27.
What if we say no?
I know, I've always thought
Yeah,
that
I
too.
know, it's.
Like, no.
I don't know. How are you gonna enforce that?
Yeah, exactly.
So 8/24 is the last day?
8/27.
27.
27.
Do I have a second? With regrets.
With regrets.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I don't know when we're gonna post that job. But thanks.
Okay.
Other things in the director's report, Joanne included pictures of the stairwell railing, the main stairwell, the before and after, and if you haven't been in the building, you can look at the pictures, but it looks
Yeah,
fabulous.
it looks fabulous.
Question. When is the stairs going to be painted?
What stairs?
The stairs underneath the railings?
Are they gonna be painted?
Mm.
I don't know. Do you want them to be painted?
Well, the railings are so nice that now you know it's the stairs.
I know, right? It's like he patched, Jared patched the walls where the old holes were, and I know he's working on painting that kind of stair vestibule, which is really challenging because it's 2 stories. So, what, I don't know, he painted the staff stairwell that goes down to periodical storage, and that looks fabulous. He just painted, tech services, it's yellow now, and it was blue before. I didn't see it. I didn't see the yellow for a whole week. I don't know what my problem was. And he just finished the gray cabinets this week, and it looks amazing. He's really good at pretty much everything. So I don't know. You mean the stair like the...
Like the one you step on.
The brown.
Oh, those can't get painted. That's like linoleum or something.
Hmm. Maybe a sticker?
Probably are stickers. Like the stick-on
Hopefully,
linoleum.
yeah. Do you wanna see the letter?
Oh, no.
Okay, we talked about the granite steps. We did the purchase orders. We did this VHS converter. Oh, okay, so I just sent you and Deb a draft of the financial controls. One of the auditors that's working on the town audit, now, this usually happens every August, sent me an email and wanted to know what our financial controls are, and this is really just what's the procedure for, the fines we take in, or special money that we take in, or how the municipal budget is dispersed in terms of paying invoices. So the only real changes had to do with the cash register now that we have, and the fact that we don't have fines and that we are taking in passport funds. So I made those changes, sent them to Janet and Deb just for their review, and if there's anything you want to change, I don't know what needs to change for any trustee monies, because I don't probably pay attention to your procedures, but,
I'll leave it.
okay. And I didn't have a deadline, it's just,
Okay.
But it's done.
my draft's done.
You,
I
Okay.
passed it over.
Fine, good. So,
Yeah.
Next person's response. Okay.
Yes. Let's see, there's something from Adult Services. 3 of the library's 6 new circulating laptops have been ordered. Adult Services would like to request $600 from the passport funds for software updates for these next 3 laptops. This is stuff we're ordering. I think they're ordering it through Amazon, so we have a limit on the Amazon account of, I think it's like $5,000, so we have to kind of wait and buy things once things clear. But the software, we have Dick Lambert who comes in and prepares all of our staff and public computers with firewalls and, I don't even know. There's a whole bunch of things that he puts on to make it secure, different virus software and things like that. So, $600.
I just want to
Hmm.
highlight something also. That was also a question I had for Joanne,
Mm.
because there were 3 POs that we had,
Mhm.
that was like for the purchase for Dick Lambert and for certain software. So I was like, I asked, was that included? And she basically said no, because the computers that were bought needed a newer operating system.
Yeah.
So this is just an addition, and it'll go to all 3, or all 6 actually, the laptops that are already queued up, so. I make a motion to pay $600 out of special for the laptops.
I second.
All those in favor? 3,
301.
abstain?
Opposed.
Oppose?
Oh,
Okay.
1.
Discussion?
I think it's too much.
$100, $100 for each?
I've never bought a laptop that didn't already come with it. And these laptops need a update right away for their operating system. I wouldn't have bought the laptops.
The update is to work with the software that the library has, and that's why they need an upgraded.
Do we use a custom operating system?
No, it's just the software that the library has, it's extra software. Actually, I'll get you the email.
Yeah.
Because Joanne had it. Joanne emailed me, and that was my question. There's specific software that the library uses, and the current operating system that is on the laptops is incompatible. So they need to upgrade the.
So it's mainly the security systems?
Hold on, I'll get it.
It's like
Firewalls
deep
you can-
freeze.
Yeah.
If you have the email, then
Actually,
that's, yeah.
So it's software, it's a newer version of Windows to run Cassie, the time management software we use for the public computers. The request is the cost of the software upgrade and unanticipated expense related to this purchase.
Unanticipated.
They didn't ask for that up front. They just asked for the laptops and didn't figure in, oh, we have to have Dick come in, and oh, this isn't I mean, they wouldn't know that that was incompatible.
So
Okay.
they have to be synced with the library systems, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So 310.
Summer reading is ending this week. There's a final children's concert tomorrow in the park. And Kathy and I will be getting pies in the face by the top readers. Yeah. And then there's a teen event this weekend. That's their final event. So that's exciting. Just for the NHLA legislation we're watching, when the session opens in the fall, then we're going to be looking at any kind of legislation that has to do with, the background checks for volunteers or staff. There are some things in terms of school curriculum, and library books are starting to be banned more frequently across the country. So we're going to be watching that as a board. One thing that the assistant state librarian said, and the NHLA officers strongly encouraged us to meet with our school boards, make sure the school board, the superintendent, librarians know what our challenge process and documents are. This would be our collection development policy, and then any kind of, request for reconsideration and challenge for programs or materials, so that they know what we do on our side. The school libraries are different, but I don't think the public really understands that, and the school board may not really know what our challenge process is. So, I've talked to Kathy about attending school board meetings. I've never attended a meeting, but it might be a good thing to do. So we're gonna figure that out, just so we can start to.
I urge you to do that. That would be
okay,
They really would,
yeah, okay.
because school board members are active citizens,
Yeah.
but they don't know what those differences are
Okay.
and how to think about them unless somebody makes it clear.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had a good relationship with the school librarians and, you know, the school media director before she left. I don't know this new superintendent. I had a relationship with the former superintendent, but now we're kind of, okay, let's start over. But especially if there's gonna be a challenge, you know, sometimes there's a challenge at the school and we're contacted. I was contacted in the spring for the last challenge. That happened at the school. Because they wanted to know, if I could be on a committee, and I said no, because I'm on the NHLA board that sponsors the award that this book is up for, so there's a conflict of interest and I can't. But, you know, we really need to be supporting the school librarians, because they support us, I mean, you know. So that's just, I'll keep you updated with how it goes. I think, you know, I don't know that Kathy and I can attend each one, but we might trade off because they meet twice a month. You know, so we'll figure that out. Anything else, any questions about
Is
anything in the,
the technical services,
what about it?
so the two hotspots have been removed, is that anyway affecting the services?
No, they're just broken. And we originally had 8 and, we wanted to make sure we weren't paying for 8 since 2 had to be removed because they were no longer working. So right now we're fine with 6.
Any other comments?
Excuse me?
Any other comments?
Hmm.
Okay. So we are on to the treasurer's report.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with the balance sheet. For fines. This is through the end of July. Beginning balance was $5,956.28. Sorry, $5,956.28. And we ended with $4,505.37. And then special, we started with $42,350.35.
42,000.
42,350. 35 cents.
Okay.
And we finished with $43,064.84. Any questions about any of that? Okay. So, I also sent the report for Princh. In September of 2020, we did the trial. It was September, October, and November. It was 3 months of a trial. And then we started paying for it. And the payment is based off the size of our library, or the size of our town, actually. I think that's more like it, because they have different rates. So I did the copier, because Princh is set up through the copier. So money that we receive from Princh goes to the copier account. There's the copier income and expense for that time period from December 2020 to current, or through July. Then there's Princh, and then there's the combined. And then I wanted to see, I did the breakdown just to see the year, basically, it's not, it's a year. It's an odd year. I did it from December to November, just to get when we first paid print. And that's why that breakdown is December to November, and then December 21 to current. Comments, thoughts, questions?
So, I know we are not doing an income-based thing, but it seems when the library was, it's still not the full year, so.
Well, the copier print combined seems to be okay.
Yeah.
But again, we're just talking December 21 to July 22.
Which is only 8 months. And that was almost a year, the previous year, but previous year we had the lockdown.
Right.
So it was more printing going direct over there rather than lockdown.
I don't know. Whenever
That's what I
go-
thought too.
Yeah.
I thought there was more printing going on
While
when,
everything was shut
yeah,
down.
when people,
Yes.
I mean, we were open for a little bit,
Yeah.
but people were still not, they were still anxious or uncertain to come into places.
Yes,
Absolutely.
so they
So-
were picking it up at the library rather than
Right.
now
Hmm.
it's gone down. But the copier part seems to be okay, like kind of balance out almost. Okay.
Should we wait for a complete year that's a little bit normalized? I don't know, whenever I'm in the library, people are printing, copying, printing,
Right.
asking questions nowadays.
I see when I'm in there, I see the copier being used and
Yeah.
printing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much print is actually, I mean,
I don't know.
I go into the building now, so
Mhm.
I don't know
We,
how much.
we
it
can
is.
wait until November this year just to see if it picks up. But still, if you see from November 2020 to November 2021, it's still almost more than $100
Yeah.
difference. So that it's like, it's not matching up. If it were $700,
Right. I mean, we can certainly wait till, I mean, we pay for it in December. We
Yeah.
can wait till
Mm.
November to see
November,
what
yeah.
Yeah.
2 full years are and see if we come close, because we're fully open
Mm.
and it's available, and is that what it would like to do? I mean, one of the questions from the minutes was, is it self-supporting?
Right,
Yes.
It's not, at least not
not right now.
right now.
Yes.
But in the next 3 months, 4 months, we can see.
Especially if people are more aware of it. I mean, it's, I don't know, being a person who, I just never would think to even inquire about it. But if somebody told me that this service existed and that, I don't even have to be there to do it. It's not, I might especially since people are, working from home more and so on,
Mm.
maybe in the library notes or something like that, have it highlighted as a service. I think it probably has been, but do it again.
Mm.
So that, I would like to see it support itself, and I don't think it would take much to do that. I think people
Mm.
would find it useful.
I use it.
I did last year, because I wanted something, I needed a lot of copies, so I
Mhm.
didn't want to stay there. So
Mhm.
I sent it,
Yeah.
and I could then just pick pick it up when I needed it.
Does it just sit in the machine?
Is it what?
Does it sit in the machine?
No, the reference desk grabs
Oh,
it.
okay.
So, or at least they did then,
Yeah, no, they grab it.
yeah.
Should put it on Facebook. Share it to the whatever's groups.
It's true.
Okay, so we'll wait till November.
Yes.
Okay, and I will do another one of these for November.
Okay.
Is there any other information you'd like to see on this?
Didn't we increase the print charges?
We did.
Does this reflect that?
Yeah. I assume so, because they collect the money and so,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah. Okay,
Okay, we'll see in November.
Okay.
Revisit in November.
okay. All right, what's next? Acceptance of minutes. We have 2 sets. No, we have 1 set. We have our public minutes from July 19, 2022.
Yep. And non-public minutes from July 19, 2022.
Correct. I had no issues. Anybody else have any issues or no issues?
I have
No
vote to-
mistakes
vote to
or-
accept.
You wanna make a motion?
You open the, first, let me open the minutes, then I can make a motion. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I make a motion to accept the public meeting minutes of July 19, 2022.
I'll second. All those in favor?
All in favor?
And the non-public
And
for July 19, 2022.
yeah, I make a motion to accept the minutes as is for the non-public meeting minutes for July 19, 2022.
I'll second. All those in favor? 400 again. So we have committee updates. The Building Exploratory Committee, no. Friends of the Merrimack Public Library,
They're meeting on
friends.
29th.
Okay. The Development Fund Committee. let's see.
They're scheduled to meet on the 21st, which is the Wednesday of the carpet installation, so
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna have to be a virtual meeting. I'll email them to see if they can make it virtual.
Okay, and then Town Center?
Meeting is day after tomorrow. No, well, Friday.
Okay. Then we have our own
8/19.
LBOC committee updates, Personnel Committee. Did you guys meet or talk or have coffee? Okay. And the Finance Committee has not met. So August action items. I had one action item.
Oh, you did it, the print.
No, that's for
No,
November.
That's for November.
I have,
Oh, you mean from this meeting?
from this meeting, I have one, which is just the granite steps. Was there
Mhm.
something else? Did anybody have anything else?
It's, the granite steps is like A and B. One is that is getting the report, and number 2 is talking to the first vendor.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have our upcoming events. We have Merrimack Public Library Board of Trustee meeting with Ann Warner on August 24th at 7 o'clock in the
Mhm.
club room. The Friends of the Library meeting is August 29th in the Lowell Room at 7 o'clock. Merrimack Public Library Board of Trustees, we have our retreat. It's gonna be on the 10th at 8:30. Oh, this actually says the Lowell Room. Do
Yeah,
you want the
these
Lowell
say
Room?
Lower room.
We can do the Lowell Room. I'm good with the Lowell Room.
I'll see what's available.
Where?
Okay.
It says the lower room in the upcoming events in the agenda.
Does
You were
it?
thinking it would be the club room
Low room for
for the retreat.
Retreat.
Is Ann Warner also lower room or? the-
No,
No.
that
Said
one's, that's
clump
the
room.
clump.
There's gonna be more people
Yeah.
at that meeting with Anne.
Is there gonna be food?
Are you gonna bring food?
I'll bring my own food.
Great.
Yeah, let's see if it could, on the 10th, it could be the low room. It's much nicer, yeah.
Yvette's gonna check availability.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see what I reserved. I try and book ahead when
Sure.
we got a lot going on.
General information, the building will be closed to the public for carpet installation on September 19th through the 24th. Curbside service will be available.
So
I-
24th, we have that meeting with Ann Warner.
Yes.
Different 24th. That's 8. That's August. But I have a question about the carpet.
Sure.
Okay, so I wrote it out because it's complicated. It seems complicated.
Okay.
So this is a timeline, the department heads, we meet on Tuesdays and go over whatever projects are going on or policies to get ready for this meeting or things like that. And we've been working on the carpet timeline and came up with this, and then we have a question.
Okay.
So, my questions are in the red comments. So basically, we're looking at Saturday on the 17th. We close at the end of the day, when everyone leaves the library, it's 2 o'clock. Anyone who hasn't already cleared off their desktops, we would clear off the desktops because the vendor said, clear off the desktops, we can move the furniture, but just put everything away. So that means computers are gone, phones, anything on your desk, binders, they're gonna be in the clump room. We can't plug in, I can't work remotely and call into my desktop because my computer will not be plugged into the intranet for the staff. Because there's one Ethernet connection in the clump room, which is going to be given over to CERC so they can check in and out when we get to it. So I thought we could plug in our office desks, our desktops, anywhere in the building to pick up the intranet. We can't. So okay, so let's kind of go back to this. Saturday at the end of close, we get everything ready for the workers to come in Monday. And we set up the computers, the CERC computer, in clump. And then there's also a bookcase we're going to move because it's the wrong distance. It's too wide between two and too narrow between the other two. So we're gonna shift that before the carpet gets put in. And then the question is, the vendor said we should wrap the bookcases in plastic so that the carpet debris and any other nonsense that's floating around doesn't get settling on the books. And when they've done carpets with other libraries, they've wrapped the bookcases. So then the question was, if we're wrapping the bookcases, how can we do curbside because we can't get the books? And I said, well, we cut the plastic and then we rewrap it. And they said, that's not gonna work, Yvette. I said, well, what if we vacuum when we come in at 2 o'clock and, vacuum around where the workers were? And they said, no, we would, that we have one high-powered vac, and that would mean Jared coming in with the high-powered vac and vacuum, and they said, no, it would take him so long to get through all these sections. So I guess I'm looking from you guys, what is your expectation for us? To run curbside or not run curbside, to wrap the books, not wrap the books. I'm concerned about, carpet debris settling all over the books and having to clean it up. The problem with the carpet and why we started kicking this around is the carpet is over 20 years old. And when since I've been the director, we've had several floods downstairs. We've had the carpet come in, Servpro to come in and do an annual cleaning, and they leave streaks. And we call them up and say, "You've left streaks on my carpet." And they say, "That's because we're picking up carpet. Your carpet is deteriorating." So that's why we're replacing the carpet, because it's old and it's deteriorating. But then the question is, do we know what's going to happen when the workers pull up the old carpet, and is that going to be like a spray of carbon fibers?
As much as I would like people to be able to drive up and pick up their
Mhm.
books for a day, no.
Well, it's Wednesday,
half the-
Thursday, Friday. It's 3 to 7, and we would extend hours on the Friday.
Okay.
Because last time we did curbside, they would end at 7. And the department heads have worked really hard putting a schedule together for their staff so that they can be working 2/3 of the time, because we figured out that the building's gonna be closed, for a certain amount of time, but we're open 2/3, because we cannot be in the building Monday and Tuesday. 0. Absolutely cannot. And, Joanne, Jared, Jen, and I will be in the building. I don't know where we're actually going to be in the building, but we can't have workers in the building from 7 to 2 doing carpet things without staff there. We have to have staff there. So we'll figure out, we'll be near the building, or we'll be outside the building telling people we're closed. Or, if I can be in my office, I'll sit. I don't know what I can do in my office without a computer, but, there's plenty I could do. That's not true.
Well, I'll just say that I feel that the carpet has probably really deteriorated, and not wrapping the books shouldn't be an option, that they need to be wrapped, because the cleanup could be toxic as well as and I'd rather have the building closed for this one time in 20 years. And, people can come get them,
2 days after.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm all about
So-
wrapping and
Yeah, wrapping.
Making the least amount of work cleanup for the staff.
And you'll be advertising, saying there'll be posts,
Yes.
everything will be like, load up on your books.
That's
load up
what
on
we
your
were
books.
saying today, is
Yes.
load up on your
Load
book.
up on
Yes.
your books.
Okay.
So,
Especially
Yes.
considering there's no
So,
fines.
yes.
Can you
Load up
also
on your
Yeah.
books.
Can you all start taking those hold requests starting that Saturday or Sunday?
I can ask. I don't work circs, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, we can
Put
have.
the hold over there and say it's right now not reachable, so you all don't have a whole list to distribute
Yeah.
Monday, and I need it Monday, I need it Tuesday, I'm picking it up.
Yeah, and people can go to other libraries. GMILCs.
Yeah.
I'm sure if there's items that people want, they can, it's great to be in a consortium. But I'm concerned about the cleanup for sure. I'm concerned about the toxic. We had the, what's it called, test in Lowell and in Teen, in Henderson, for asbestos. There's no
Mhm.
asbestos in the building.
Hmm.
But, all the materials in the building, everything is an investment.
Mhm.
And it's too much to think about with what's gonna settle on books, because we already know that regular dust settles on the books, and we have to take everything off, clean all the books,
Mhm.
the shelf, put it back.
Mhm.
It's very time consuming.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
And they're gonna stay on the shelves, so you can wrap to the shelf on top as well as
Mhm.
the shelf on, so.
Yeah, with the book, so you all don't have to move anything.
okay. So, no curbside?
No curbside.
No.
Just forget that part.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Okay.
For those 2 days, no curbside.
No, it's
Well,
more than
3
2 days.
It's 3 days.
It's 3
5
days.
days.
Yeah, handle it.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell people to load up on things.
Load it up.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
just
that's a
load it
really
up.
good idea.
Okay.
Tell
And
people
then
to do that. They'll do
stop
that.
holds and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No museum passes
No
because,
museum
No,
passes.
for
Okay.
3
For
days.
3 days.
okay.
If-
So
if
what
they-
about?
If they can pick up the museum passes for those 3 days if they want to.
That's not, well, that means people in the building.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
some of the things you can reserve and it's on your phone.
Yes.
So I'll talk to Alyssa and see what she can do,
Yeah.
because I know there's one pass that's a physical pass and I don't remember which one it is. Okay, so what about having staff, once it hits Wednesday, we can put they're gonna put a priority on the offices, so I could come in and put my desk back together. Tech services and the lower office, we can put all that stuff back together. And then, the staff has figured out things for their staff to do. There's a conference that Youth Services is gonna go to, and that'll take up a certain amount of time. There's a lot of remote programming, stuff of, getting constant contact together. I'm going on a leadership retreat on Friday through Sunday, so I'm gonna be, already busy doing that. But, what's your expectation with percentage of hours we should get them to work?
Vacation.
Some people don't accrue time. That's the only problem. So we're
Well-
trying to, I told them just think of it as, forget Monday, Tuesday. If you're scheduled on Monday, just forget it and just work with, you have 20 hours and you're gonna fill it. We're gonna need people on the Saturday when we start putting stuff back together, unwrapping the shelves and whatever, putting offices and computers and things back. So we want some clarification on what you want us to do. If we're not doing curbside, then that frees up time when staff would have come in to do that.
Right.
Is there anything backed up?
With stuff in the building, we can't be in the building to do,
The basement?
oh, they've done great on the basement. No, because that was already a project to clean out periodical and reorganize it and get the library of things in there. I mean, that's done, They're very good, so I don't know.
One thing can be like, if we can spread their hours out, because after that it's coming kind of the festival seasons. So
Hmm.
if y'all can do substitute, if they want to substitute for someone going for a vacation or something, those hours, move them from those hours, bring them some of the week or some of the time.
That's not how they work.
No.
They don't take if they're 20 hours this week and only do 10, I don't know if you're on a 1 week or a 2 week schedule.
One.
Okay, so if it's 20 hours, it's
Mhm.
20
It's
hours that
20.
week. It's not 10 this week and then 30 the next week. It's just 10. What day can you guys get back in the building? But the books won't still be available.
I think we can get into the offices. What I'm told is Monday, Tuesday, they're gonna do the offices. And then Wednesday, we can get back in the offices, but then they're still working on the main floor and children's for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
What's your week? Is it Saturday to Saturday, or Saturday to Friday?
No,
or-
it's Sunday to Saturday.
It's Sunday to
That's our
Saturday.
week.
Okay.
How many people are going to get affected during those few days? How does the schedule look? Everybody doesn't work every day.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would have to go back and ask, it seems like Children's has figured out what they're gonna do, because they can do programming outside. They can they're gonna replace a story walk that week, and that takes a couple hours, to go out, to the story walks. They've got a conference that week that Kathy is sending everyone to. And then they've got some virtual programming. So she's pretty confident that she can do it. It's really circ is the problem, so how many people does it affect?
Okay. So we have one more meeting,
5.
no, before this.
What was that?
We have one more meeting before this carpet project starts.
Technically, yeah, but,
But how many days between that meeting and the carpet project?
I think
Let's check.
yeah, I think it's the next week.
Like, then you can give us an idea.
So what this timeline is saying, though, essentially, is that from Saturday is when,
9th,
Saturday
17th.
is when the book should, the 17th is when the book should be wrapped.
Yeah, after we.
And
close it
they
up.
cannot be unwrapped, it says on this timeline, till the 24th, which is 7 days.
No, 23rd. 23rd.
Yeah,
Well, it
23rd.
says 23rd at 2 p.m., so that, and then it
Yeah.
says Saturday the 24th, replace any remaining staff or public computers, furniture returned,
Mm.
and then unwrap plastic from bookcases, vacuum and dust bookshelves and books as needed.
So on 9/23, they said carpet installation should be complete by 2 p.m., which is like giving around 3 hours on a Friday.
Yes.
So if they take it like from 3 to take another extra hour, it's like 3 hours to just go and see basically what needs to get done to get the library. open.
If the children's room, if the children's staff have their time covered,
Mm.
then if the carpet guys focused on the main floor,
Mhm.
then you guys would be able to work
Mm.
sooner if they were still working it on the lower floor.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so they could still be doing the carpet in the lower floor with you guys doing,
Trying to set up
Set
the
up,
main,
yes.
the
The
main
main
floor
floor.
and the
Yeah.
computers and all that. That's a good point.
Yeah, if they finish the first floor first with the offices, then
right, well,
that
the
will be
offices will be done
Yeah,
first,
with the
absolutely.
offices and the first floor, then that will be functional.
Is the ventilation gonna be on?
Well, the ventilation in the building isn't good to start with,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
which we discovered during COVID. So, I will find out where we can move the air purifiers to, 'cause you'd think that would normally be, it's on a surface, it would have to go
Mm-hmm.
and be turned
Yes.
off somewhere.
Might damage the filter or clog it up. Those are
Well-
very expensive.
Yep. It might, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that, so I'll write down air purifiers.
Actually, what is, I mean, we know that the ventilation isn't great.
Mhm.
How does the carpet guys, how do they anticipate? I mean,
I don't
would they
know.
want a fan? I mean, I would think that would be worse.
I have no idea.
Because you're blowing it around.
Yeah.
I mean-
Absolutely.
We only got this email that, about wrapping the shelves like Thursday or Friday of last week, and we discussed it today, cause we all kinda went,
Too much
next week,
different.
you know?
Can't
And I
figure it
emailed, the nays list to say, if you have done a full carpet replacement, what have you done? And have you been open to the staff? Have you wrapped your bookcases? I mean, what have you done? Because we're looking at,
Yeah.
a very old carpet that's already disintegrating, so, I'll see what those answers are.
Mike, did you have something to say?
No.
Okay.
So you want us to try and get the staff working
Right.
Working would be good.
as much of their hours as we can. I don't think we can get to 100%.
I don't think so either. There's just not enough time.
Yeah.
As long as it's generating the activity that needs in order to reopen.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I remember surf being the issue through COVID.
Yeah, it's hard for them to do any kind of remote
Exactly.
work,
Yeah.
because that's their job, they're in the
Right.
building,
Yeah.
you know, and they have some things they can do, you know, they can create the slideshows for the Kelly system, and, some, you know, professional development, you know, but it's a whole different job.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll go back to the department heads and tell them what your expectations are, and we'll figure out Plan B.
This is a good problem. We are gonna end up with new carpet.
Well, the renderings were beautiful, you know, I mean, that's, yeah, it's just hard to figure it out, but.
Okay, we have 3 more things just for me to say, and then we're done. The Board of Trustee monthly meeting is the 20th, September 20th, here in the Merrimack Memorial Room. The Development Fund Committee meeting is on 9/21, which will have to be in Zoom because the building is going to be closed. And then the Friends of the Library book sale, yay, is September 30th and October 1st. The Clump Room and Parking Lot. Comments from the press, public, and board members?
None.
None, okay.
I was leaving, none.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting
I second.
at 8:22. All those in favor? 400.
Okay.